RISE and the mentoring program. I would like to welcome the speakers for this session. Ms. Anjali Juneja, Amar VP and Country Head, W. Ms. Jagruti Godre, Executive Engineer, TV9 News Network. Mala M. Prasad, Managing Director, A.B.I.S. Ms. Rupali Sarkar, Manager Business Development, Yota Infrastructure Solutions. Ms. Shivani Kocher, Senior Manager, Sales System, A.P.I.S. Technology and Operations, Warner Bros. Discovery. Moderator, Peter Bruce, Senior Channel Sales Manager, A.P.I.S. Harmonic. Thank you.
See, blokes aren't all that good at tech, I can tell you. So we have our issues. Right, we have a fantastic panel here. So I'm so chuffed, and really from all ends of the spectrum. So some who have been in a mentor-mentee program or are on the program, some have completed, have been a mentee and now a mentor, and some, let's say, senior achievers in the industry. So thank you very much for coming in, and I'll particularly say Malika, she's been up so early to fly in from Delhi this morning. so thank you everybody. What we're going to do is just play a video which gives you a little bit of understanding about what RISE are doing. So what we want to do, really achieve today, is explain what RISE is, and then address issues perhaps in the Indian market of what can be done. So RISE itself is actually a UK headquarters, of which it is growing globally. So we have the chair of RISE APAC, Greg, here, and Asia is incredibly growing, and certainly India as well is very much a growth for RISE. So let's run the video and then we can have a discussion. There we go, it all comes in. So the sound.
Sound on W.
So the Rise Up Academy Summer School is running for a week at Global Academy in Hayes, and we're reaching out to 500 young people. We've got 11 to 14-year-olds for 2 days, and then 15 to 18-year-olds for another 2 days. We are trying to inspire and educate and inform them about all the different opportunities there are in the media technology industry.
Sound supervisor, running the sound, camera operator, graphics operator, voiceover, editing operators.
Some young people here who are trying out post-production, VFX, graphics, there's an OB truck outside, build a full camera studio and a whole lot more, hoping that we can inspire, educate and inform them in the opportunities that could exist for them.
all of these amazing, incredible opportunities for these young people to really understand where their interests might lie. It might be that they're interested in being involved in OBs, or it might be that they're thinking about virtual production, but we're giving them the chance to understand what these technologies involve from a practical point of view and where their careers might go.
So, what I'll do is firstly pass over to Repali, who has been very active with RISE in India, probably, well, before COVID. Well, what she's going to explain, what we have on the video there is some of our mentee programs, our RISE app and so forth. So if you could explain what RISE actually does.
Yes, sure. Thank you. To talk about RISE, actually, RISE is award-winning global organization, and they are supporting gender diversity across media and entertainment sector. And they are aiming right now to provide more career opportunities and helping younger and experienced ladies like us to achieve their career goals in broadcast and media sector. And I can say I'm in association with RISE from last 3 years, and it is a wonderful journey for me. So I just want to say RISE is currently delivering award-winning mentoring program in UK, Europe, North America, APAC region and ANZ region. And they are also started Rise Up Academy, and with them they are inspiring, educating all younger talents. And this is these programs, as you saw already on video, it is very fantastic. They also started annual awards, RISE Awards, where they are celebrating achievers and skilled person for the females like us. And RISE is like they are providing free membership for across all the genders to access all the events happening in RISE, like networking events, workshops, seminars, and conferences. And we found, like, I just want to say, RISE also hosting a lot of online face-to-face like conferences, and also some including panel discussions like this, career management master classes, and networking events. Also recently in IBC, RISE has launched Strive to Rise program, and it is something which is related to guiding companies how they can set up a balanced gender diverse workforce in their company. And this is something going to take us along. This is what I feel. And if you can add, like, if I miss something about RISE. And I also want to tell you that why RISE is growing. There are many examples which I want to disclose here. So RISE is supporting by many industry leaders across the world. And to talk about RISE APAC, I would like to inform you here. Mr. Greg, he is Vice President Grass Valley for APAC, and he is currently chairing RISE APAC, and he is supporting us. Also, Peter was also he also chaired previously the RISE APAC position, and they helped us because their time is very precious, and they are contributing their time, and they are guiding us, and that's why this RISE is growing very fast. Second example I would like to tell you here, I would like to talk about my story. I got connected with RISE 3 years back, and I started, my first year was just to attend the networking events by RISE, and the second year was I was selected as a mentee, and I was alone from India, and I got to know many APAC colleagues, like industry colleagues, friends, and it was very something very amazing experience for me. And this year I'm doing a mentoring session with some of like few ladies, and one of them is from a younger lady from Bangalore, and this opportunity I received because of RISE, and I'm very thankful to RISE. third, I would like to tell you my experience. I would like to add few, like the current experience here. This young lady, she is from TV9, and she is here after attending her night shift, and she's here in the morning session, and this young lady is taking my photograph. I'm watching her from yesterday. She's standing and taking all the photographs. So I'm saying we are enough passionate and capable to handle the same workforce which a company wants to do, and I want the RISE is helping us a lot, and that's why RISE is growing so rapidly.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And as I mentioned, with RISE, we're doing a mentor-mentee program, what we call RISE Up, which is getting girls in...
Peter, before you proceed further,
Yeah.
I just wanted to inform all the panelists here that we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube.
Fantastic.
So we are reaching to a wider audience. Just wanted to bring it to your attention. Thank you.
Great, fantastic. So, we have a Rise Up, which is you saw in the video, which is encouraging girls to stay in tech and get in the industry. We have Strive to Rise, which does a program for companies, which goes through the company and says how diverse they are and helps guide the company into diversity. So let's talk a little bit about the mentor-mentee program. We have a mentee, Shivani, who maybe you could tell me what you benefited from the mentee, from your mentee.
Sure. So, hi. So, I work for Warner Brothers Discovery, and I was doing my job well, and I thought that I'm doing a good job. I'm adding value. Company was recognizing my work, but somewhere I felt limited. I felt that I needed to grow, and I need somebody to guide me to what should I do next, so that I can move to the next level. Now, I was actually looking for somebody who can help and guide me in the direction. And then I got into RISE 5 months ago. I heard about this program from my CIO. And I joined this program. And since then, I've been learning. So the journey in last 5 months have been so great and so fast that I don't think I could have done without the mentoring program. So it's interesting thing that when I met my mentor and I was talking to him about my 2 years or 5 years goal, the first thing he said that I need to explore more. I need to learn more about things which are happening in the industry, because industry, especially the tech area, is just moving so fast. So within my area, I knew I know this area, but I started learning other areas, other technology areas. I joined few courses, and there was another factor which came out is the networking. So I had not invested enough in networking, and when there was a RISE session done for brand visibility. And when I joined that program or that session, I realized that there are so many other women who have the same challenge. They are just not visible, and they are not comfortable even to come out and talk about themselves or to just speak about themselves. So I started getting into LinkedIn, I started posting, and my followers started growing, which was encouraging for me, because I never thought about this before, and it was so important to be part of industry and to be visible there. And then there is a program, as Rupali mentioned, this is about the RISE Awards. So when the RISE Awards came in, I applied for it, and I thought, okay, let me give it a try. And my pleasant surprise that I was shortlisted. And I was happy. I just told my mentor and my manager that, I got shortlisted. And then on the LinkedIn, I got a comment from my CIO, who is David Jaslov, based out of US, congratulating me and saying that my name was announced in IBC Amsterdam. So that boosted my confidence that, yes, things can be done, things can happen. So, and then there was a announcement within my internal organization talking about the contribution I have done for the organization and the award I've selected for. So I think with this program, the three things which I really gained in a very short span of time. One is guidance, second is visibility, and most important was the hope, which I was really looking forward for.
And I have a question. Who is your mentor?
So my mentor is Ashish Mukherjee. He is Benchmark. He is a founder of Benchmark, and I'm very fortunate to have him as my mentor.
So my point is you can participate as a blog. Doesn't have to be ladies.
Yeah.
We are both mentors. And you can actually apply as a mentee. You don't have to be young. You can apply quite old as well. And with mentor-menteeing, I actually have a group which is from my last company, of which I'm kind of helping mentoring an ex-colleague going into retirement. So, you know, it can work in any age. So, okay, so I'm very honored to come off a night shift. So maybe from your experience, if you could tell me as a girl really working in tech, what your experience is, and you know, you were TV18, and how maybe you know, let's say as a young lady in tech, how you feel you're progressing, and do you think the mentor-mentee program will also help?
हेलो, तो मैं TV9 मुंबई से हूँ। अभी टोटल मुझे 2 इयर्स एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है। तो यहाँ पे मुझे मैं मेल्स के बीच में अकेली लड़की काम कर रही हूँ, तो इसमें बाकी सारे लोग्स में एक डिसिप्लिन आ गया है, जो कि मुझे पढ़ना अच्छा लगता है। बाकी के भी लोग मेरे साथ पढ़ लेते हैं, बुक्स पढ़ लेते हैं, और मोस्टली मेल्स डिस्कशन करते वक्त बैड लैंग्वेज यूज़ करते हैं, सो अभी यूज़ नहीं होती हैं। और मैं नाइट शिफ्ट भी करती हूँ, वहाँ पे मुझे कुछ ऐसा बैड बिहेवियर्स कुछ फील नहीं होता है। हाँ, मेरे मैनेजर ने खुद बोला है, अगर तुझे लगा कि कोई बंदा कुछ छेड़ रहा है, कुछ कर रहा है, तो जाके सीधा ठोक के आने का और उसके बाद कंप्लेंट कर देने का। सो ऐसा कुछ फील नहीं होता है कि हाँ मैं लड़की हूँ, इतने सारे मेल्स के बीच में मैं लड़की हूँ और मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकती हूँ। उल्टा वो लोग बोलते हैं मुझे कि आजा ग्रुप डिस्कशन में तू भी इन्वॉल्व हो, तेरा भी सजेशन दे। हम लोग डेफिनेटली हाँ, और वो डेफिनेटली मेरे सजेशंस को एक्सेप्ट करके उस पर काम भी करते हैं। That's it.
As we're streaming live, we'll just have a quick translation for those streaming around the world.
So quick translation of what she just said right now, that she's the only girl in a group of boys at her organization, and I think the biggest change she's noticed ever since she's come on board is that they've become more disciplined. They've become more disciplined. They are not using foul language anymore. And I think the integration process has not been so complicated because they've been encouraging her to become a part of their group as well. They involve her in discussions. So far the journey has been good for her.
Yes.
Right?
So what I'll just ask Mala, because as a more senior lady, should I say, let's be polite. What does, and I've known you 20 years or so what do organizations, because how I see it is I work for a NASDAQ listed company where we have a structure of diversity. We have to sign up, we read it, and we do it. So what do Indian companies have to do?
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me here. So in my previous avatar, I was working with an international system integration house, Ideal Systems, for about 20 years, and looking after the India operations. In those 20 years, I have to say there were hardly any female colleagues I had. And the onus of that lies on me as well, because I did not recruit enough. And the second thing is there was paucity of female talent in the tech world. So that was the other challenge I did see. I got a lot of people in project management, in administration roles, but I did not come across many females in the tech world per se. While a NASDAQ listed firm or an international MNC places a lot of value on DEI initiatives, an Indian system integration house or a reseller or a distributor has no such onus or responsibility. So there is just no focus from that community to bring in female talent. If anything, they would just bring them in for admin roles. And the moment something like a maternity leave pops up, there would be, so are you moving on? Are you leaving the organization? You have all kind of gender bias that comes in. And that's the hard truth of this industry. And as Greg mentioned, look around this trade show. You will hardly see any females who are leading a tech initiative or at an important position within the organization. And that is a very, very big challenge.
Yeah, I mean, one of the comments I always make about India is that in the IT side, there's lots of girls.
Yeah.
In the broadcast side, there's not. Now, I know Tableau is very much an IT company, but what are the types of initiative? And I'm thinking things like maybe creches, timing for women, so they're not leaving the office at strange times. Maybe sessions to dispel unconscious bias, fireside chats with the boys to say this is how you should treat. So what do you feel? I mean, you're working with a very let's say a female cast in your company. So what needs to be, where do companies have to wake up and need to let's say, take in that fantastic workforce, which is not necessarily being attracted to the industry?
Thanks, Peter, for that question. In fact, I would say that I've been fortunate to have worked in most of the organizations that I have worked for. They have been very inclusive in terms of not just gender diversity, but all kinds of diversity. Tableau, which is a Salesforce company, I think we really believe in leading from the top. So our chairperson herself is Arundhati Bhattacharya, a very well-known name in the industry. She was the chairwoman of State Bank of India for a long time, and she's been with us for last 2 years now. And for Tableau and Salesforce, the kind of things that we are trying to do is one, have very structured programs around women leadership and mentoring. Things like, why do you and how should you get into leadership positions? How do you break the glass ceilings? Discuss those things openly around with males and females both in the room. That is one. Second is, if I look at the leadership positions within Salesforce, I think we are very women top heavy. In fact, in our organization, there's a joke that we have more women than men in the leadership positions, which also is not a very good thing. You need to have a balance of both men and women in the leadership. So that is the second thing which we are doing. Intentionally, we are going ahead and trying to get leaders, women leaders in the team. Of course, that doesn't mean that we hire people who are not good for that role. That, of course, is a given that the person has to qualify, the qualification has to be there. But having said that, if there is a man and a woman and both of them are equally qualified, there are chances that the woman would be taken up first, so that we break that glass ceiling myth which has been there. Though for a long time it wasn't really a myth, but in a lot of IT organizations, MNCs today, it is becoming a myth. Then again, there are things like you asked about creches. There are a lot of discussions, especially in organizations, big organizations like IBMs of the world or Verizons of the world or Salesforce of the world, which are very tech-heavy organizations and have big development centers based out of Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. That is where you will find creches which can help the women. However, I would still say that cities like Mumbai and Delhi, we don't have creches for young mothers to get their children there. So that is still work in progress, and a lot has to be done. But I would go to say that it is a lot about mindset within the women also. And I've been meeting a lot of women within my organization, my previous organizations, and I keep, sort of mentoring them and telling them that leadership and rising up, your professional growth has to be very intentional. You yourself have to be very intentional about your growth. The organization is going to do as much. But if you are intentional and you go out and tell your leaders that you are ready for growth and you want to grow, they will come out and help you. A lot of times as women, we are very shy of talking about our own growth and about our own promotions. So that is something which we clearly as women have to really go out and do. And we have to understand that we need to build male allies in the system. So it is not just about women helping women, it is also about having male allies in your organizations who can come out and help you when needed. So there are a lot of programs happening, but thanks for asking that.
Absolutely. So I'll put this back to Ripley as well. So on the, let's say the mentor-mentee program, most of the mentors will try and guide the, let's say the mentees to get that, let's say, plan, your career plan, and how to achieve that. So, Ripley, you have gone from a mentee to a mentor, which is quite impressive. So maybe you could also help just explain.
Yeah, so for many years, I think, yes, I was a mentee, and I had mentors who were official mentors, and there were lot of personal, unofficial mentors over my career who've helped me out. But the onus lied on me as a mentee to reach out to them and ask them the support and help which I needed. And that's something which is very important in a mentor-mentee relationship. As a mentee, you need to be very clear in your goals of life and goals of career. So that when you reach out to your mentors and seek support, because your mentor is supposed to be a trusted advisor, somebody who can help you to achieve your goals and not put his or her goals onto you. So as a mentee, I think I was clear, but as a mentor, I reach out to people and I listen to them first. I challenge them a lot in what they are thinking. I encourage them in what they want to do. And then at times we share our experiences. Because as a mentee, probably you are 5 years, 2 years, 10 years in your career. But having spent about 25 years into the industry, there would be a lot of experiences which I have already gone through, or most of the mentors would have gone through. So when you bring out those experiences, you will find a common ground through which you can help the mentees and, sort of guide them into where they should be moving and not have those pitfalls which you would have gone through. So that's, I think, having those open conversations is something which is very much needed.
Right, okay. So Ripley, from your experience on both sides, where do you think that, firstly, has helped you as a mentee, and where do you think you're helping as a mentor now? What are the benefits?
Sure, I would like to answer. As a mentee in last year, I've gone through extensive program for 6 to 8 months, and I was getting monthly sessions with RISE from personal branding to many other topics which I never heard before, and those were very industry experts were coming and talking about all this session and guiding us. Also, my mainly experience with mentee program is to have networking with another colleagues from A.P.I.S, like industry colleagues from A.P.I.S, which was never before. This was my first experience, and now we are very much in connection. And the third part is my mentor support during my program. She was also lady, and she is very technically expert. She helped me to understand few technical queries, and for me was it is very rare to get understand something technically from experts and without asking that, and they are ready to contribute from themselves. So this is my experience as a mentee. This year as a mentor, to be honest, actually it's because we receive from RISE, we have to give back, and that's why I applied as a mentor. And my mentee is a young lady, and with her, this is almost 5 months with her. Every month we do talk, we share our experiences, and I think I'm helping her in her career, and I'm also taking a lot, learning a lot from her. So it's a give and take. The relationship being even as a mentor. So what I see, I just like even we already, like, there are many industry leaders who already reached to the top by reaching the mountain and trekking there. And if we want to trek as a mid manager or junior level, we should ask like how to reach to that, how to trek there, how to reach to the top. That's a simple question we have to ask, and you will get all your answers. That initiative we have to take as a juniors and mid manager real positions people, and so that we can also grow. And to be honest, they are the leaders are really wants to give, they want to share their experience, but someone has to ask. That
right.
is
Thank you. What I'll ask is just another question on, because speaking to basically all of you, one of the issues is getting girls, let's say qualified girls, because we're saying you always employ the right person for the job. So how do we get more girls out of tech colleges who want to go into broadcast? So just a question, what is your feelings of that?
So, very interesting thing. I was talking to my mentor, and he said 3 decades ago when he was in the IIT Engineering College, there were 2,000 students, and there were only 75 girls out of that, which is less than 4%. Now, things have changed. Now, when you see the JEE exam, which is the main engineering entrance exam, more and more girls are applying for that. So things are changing, they're applying. But it is not that once they're applying, they will be a tech engineer. So they will come to a broadcast tech industry. They might go to or prefer to go to a software development, which is more preferred for women. So encouraging them, showing them that there is a path, there's a growth. And today, I would say women are ambitious. They want to attain certain height. So showing them that this is possible in the broadcast tech industry will encourage them to join this industry. And that is possible when we have more leaders, women leaders, sitting on the top positions or at the leadership positions so that they can become a role model. We always want to look up to somebody and say, okay, this is what I want to do. But there are not enough representation today. So that's one thing which I think which can be done. Second, we always think that tech goes along or it matches with boys. So somehow that needs to change. Females or girls can also have a very techie mind. So once that changes from the early age of when girls are coming up, that will encourage them to choose, because now females have a choice for their career, but it's not there in their list of choice because they're not being brought up like that. They've been brought up to either go for traditional roles, which is like teaching, nursing, or even counseling. So to encourage them to have that mindset that tech is not specific to a gender, it is specific to your interest, and if you are interested, you can actually do a lot. So it's changing. It just needs to be more and more visible. People need to understand the education needs to start at the early age. And once that happens, I think more girls will come into this area and they will be able to sustain there. Now, another problem which I feel is that even if girls are now joining this area, they go up to a level, they do get promoted, they do get recognized, but as Anjali said, they get stuck because their career starts to slow down or to almost crawl because they're just not able to go up that level. So there is a support required, and we were talking about having some kind of internal sponsorship programs within an organization which can give them that opportunity to go to the next level. And if all these things are done and many more, I think more and more girls will join broadcast tech as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have some very international companies here. I'll put it back to Marla because you've been, for a smaller organization, very senior, and in a way pulled out of broadcast. So what has to happen to keep the girls, let's say, attention in broadcast that they can achieve as broadcast engineers within the industry?
I think as a first step, the companies within broadcast industries need to be sensitized, and they need to know the opportunity cost of not hiring women. So I think if we create a work environment and sensitize the management, the ownership pool of these companies about the benefit of having women talent on their roles, I think that would be a great start, first step. So once then they will go look out for female talent. Right now, if an owner here would receive 20 resumes and they have 4 resumes for women, they will not hire those 4 resumes. They will not even interview them because there is a mindset, oh, she cannot work late. Or she will, after 4 years, she'll get married and then she'll have a kid and she'll go away. And there is that mindset. So I think it's very important to sensitize and educate the industry as a whole. And then when the female talent comes in, it can be nurtured and the work environment can be created in such a way that she grows and thrives there. And yes, I was in the broadcast world and I moved into a affiliated industry of workspace technology. And I'm fortunate to work in an organization which promotes gender diversity and inclusion, and it promotes female talent where quite a few of our leadership positions have females there. So, and I see that is a company where jobs are given not on the basis of the gender, but on the basis of your talent and your interest. And I think that is of prime importance. When we are screening our candidates, we should not screen on the basis of the gender. So I think besides educating the female talent pool, it's very important to educate the organizations within the broadcast industry.
Yeah. I mean, I think that in, as I say, I work for a NASDAQ listed company and we have a program. I'm sure Tableau is the same sort of thing, a diversity in Grass Valley, right? So it does seem to be really a two thing of the companies, one, recognizing their, the position that they're at, which is Strive to Thrive can help with that. And then have a real program in place, because unless you have a program, and it's not just, it should be also men and women running that program as well. So that seems to be. Now, I think
Can I add in a couple of things?
Finishing off, yeah, go ahead.
So, being in media and technology industry, both for me, I've worked in media as well as IT. The more in IT, there are few learnings which I might want to share from IT. So IT has been a little ahead on the curve in terms of, getting women leaders. One, as you said, is a programmatic approach. You have to have a programmatic approach in this industry where we say that we are going to hire, say, 10% of the workforce, 10% of the people in leadership, some number, and say that this has to be done. Because unless and until you really mandate it, it doesn't happen. So for few years, till the time people start understanding and they start realizing the benefit of having a gender diverse, population in the organizations, it is good to have a mandate out there. Second could be around, then going ahead and showing that visibility part. When you have more women leaders sitting in forums like these, what you are promoting, they are so important. Women leaders, when people see the women leaders there, they believe it. Like I grew up, when I came in the industry, I saw Neelam Dhawan heading, IBM, Microsoft, HP. She was my role model. And that's where I want to be. So I have grown up looking at Neelam Dhawan in India. So we need to have more women leaders in the media industry who can be there and people can look up to them in technology. So just two of these learnings from tech, which probably you could, adopt in the media, and they're going to help.
Yeah, and okay, we let's say have to wrap things, and what I'd say is, well, first of all, thank you so much for coming off a shift. Was it 3:30 in the morning you woke up? Coming from Delhi, so the girls, what I'd like to do is just give a round of applause to the girls who are real achievers. And thank you so much. And well, what I'd say is, first of all, go to Rise Women in the Industry website. Not just the girls, but the guys as well. It's free to join, so there's no harm in that. It is incredibly rewarding to be a mentor if you have something to give back. So please, participate and get active, and within your company, change the culture, because really what we're doing is, first of all, the end customer for this industry, half of them are women, first of all. So we cannot ignore that. We have to help the women move forward, particularly within the tech side. So anyway, that's it. And Manoj?
Thank you, Peter, for that fantastic session, and all the women panelists out here. More power to the women in the media and entertainment industry.
Thank you.
So on behalf of Nürnberg Messe, I would request Sonia Prashal, Chairperson and Managing Director of Nürnberg Messe, and Anushri Ramchandani, India NAB representative, to please distribute a small memento to all speakers on behalf of Nürnberg Messe as an appreciation of their participation in this panel discussion.
Manoj, thank you. First of all, I wanted to thank you all ladies for a wonderful session today. And just to let you know that the show here is produced by Nürnberg Messe, which is Broadcast India, SCAT India, and Content India. And I lead the company. And at one point, I had 95% women workforce. And as you said, I needed some more men, and I added men to the team to create a balance. So to let you know that this media and entertainment tech show is actually produced by women mostly. Yeah? So you can be proud of that, because which means we should have understood a little bit of technology, a little bit of IT, and a little bit of nurturing, because this is also, nurturing. We took over the show and we wanted to nurture it, and we wanted to kind of develop it further. And that's why I'm very proud to have you today. And so keep looking forward to future editions and more prominent sessions with all of you. So thank you very much.
And Sonia, thank you as well to Nürnberg Messe for Rise as well. Okay, that's a good point. That's what I'll do as well, I guess.
So I called another woman who's also presenting another talk show.
So. Whoops, sorry.